Beach off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm still sick, but we're gonna push through because I have a lot of videos to make. We'll see how I do. I've kind of been excited to talk about my May TBR. It's kind of ambitious. Again, I don't know if I'll get through everything. I am participating in two things. Well, probably more than two things, but two, I guess you call them readathons. One is Middle Grade May, and the other one is the Southern Charm Readathon. So, let's just get started. So, I also have some group reads I'm doing. We have Chantel Reads All Days Year with Maud. I'm behind. They did Anne of Windy Poplars this month, and they're doing Anne's House of Dreams in May. Well, we're actually in May today, actually. So April's read was Anne of Windy Poplars, but I did not get to it this month. So I'm going to do Anne of Windy Poplars and Anne's House of Dreams, or maybe I'll just do one. We'll see, because after May, she's taking a break and reading other things by Lucy Maud Montgomery that I'm not interested in over the summer. So I may read Anne's House of Dreams then. In June, maybe. We'll see. So there's that. And then we have Book Lover Amanda's Southern Comfort Reading Prompt for May. A book with music in it. Honestly, I had a really hard time finding a book with music in it for Katie's Spring into the Movies readathon that just passed. I did end up finding one, which I'll talk about in my wrap-up. But weirdly enough, I was about to start this book a couple days ago, because it was my next Babysitter's Club book. And I decided to save it for May. So the book I'm reading for this prompt is Jessie's Gold Medal, Babysitter's Club book number 55. Jessie Ramsey is a ballerina, so I'd say that works for music. So yeah, I decided to save it. So yeah, I'm reading that for that prompt. Short, quick read. Then the girls from the Booklist Thursday Facebook group, Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, they're going to be reading The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I love this book. I read it years ago. They recently came out with a 10-year anniversary edition, so I guess they're going to do a group read of that. It's a reread for me, and for them too, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you can join their Facebook group. You can find it, and join in that. I'm really excited to reread it. I've never actually heard the audiobook from the Commercial Market before. I listened to the Braille Institute version at the time, but I found the Commercial Market one, and I think Suzanne Torin narrates it, which I love Suzanne Torin, so I'm excited to listen to that version. So yeah, I'm doing that. And then, great. There's a new version of Outlander. There's a new audio version of Outlander that just came out, by a new narrator, because Davina Porter is not narrating book 10 because she's practically 90 years old. And by the time, book 10 comes out, she will be, I hope, still alive to read it at the rate that Diana goes. So, they decided to make a new set of Outlander audiobooks with a different narrator. And I think her name is Kristen Atherton. I forget. But I loved her in a few other books, so I decided to buy her versions of the books and do a re-listen. They're coming out every few months, so this month Outlander came out, so I'm re-listening to that. So that's a long read. And then, I'm also going to start reading Emma by Jane Austen. That's the next book in my Listen of the Pod and Prejudice podcast. They did Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. Then the next one they read for season 3 was Emma. And then after that, I think is Persuasion. And then we'll see what they do next, because by then I'll be caught up to the current day. But Emma's next, so we'll see if I get to it or not. Because I have a lot of long reads that are like group reads, so maybe I won't get to that. And then I have another sort of group read. I'm definitely not getting to all these, but I have to get to this one. It's called Stealing Home, Los Angeles, the Dodgers, and the Lives Caught in Between by Eric Nussbaum. I have zero interest in the Dodgers or any sports anything, but, well, Braille Institute is having an author event on May 14th, and I'm part of the library advisory committee, so I have to look like I care. I'm trying to support the library. Hopefully it sounds more interesting. It's more interesting than it sounds. So, yeah, there's that. So those are all my huge book, like, group reads. It's a lot. I'll see what I get to. Now we'll get into the stuff that I'm going to read for readathons. First, we have Middle Grade May. The hosts are Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Leah from Dark Roots Creation, Beth from Soul Stained Ink, and Storm from Storm Reads. So I have a few middle grades that I never got to in middle grade March, so I decided to put them here. We have Once for Yes by Allie Millington. I first heard about this one from Krista from Books and Jams. I read her other one, Olivetti. And this one, that one was about a typewriter that came to life. This one is about an apartment building with a personality, so it's about to be demoed, and a girl who doesn't want to move. So, we'll see. Then I have The Enemy's Daughter by Anne Blankman. I'm sorry, my voice is... I heard about it from Amanda from On the Middle Shelf. This takes place in 1915. Marta and her father are passengers on the Lusitania. They're trying to get home to Germany, and while aboard, they must keep their identities secret or risk being mistaken for enemy spies. Then the Lusitania is attacked by a German submarine, and they make it off the ship, but her father is discovered and detained, and Marta is left alone. So to survive, she meets up with this family, and an Irish family. There's a girl named Claire, and they become friends. And they believe that she's a Dutch refugee. So they welcome her, and she has to kind of keep her identity a secret. So we'll see how that goes. I'm interested. Then we have The Wrong Way Home by Kate O'Shaughnessy. I heard about this one. This is another Krista book. Actually, both Krista and Amanda. I read Lasagna Means I Love You by this author, and I loved it. But this one is about a girl and her mother. Her name is Fern. And her mom takes her out of this cult that they were in. And Fern doesn't like being out of the cult. So it's her adjustment into the real world. So we'll see. Then we have, I want to continue my reread through the Ramona series. I read Beezus and Ramona the Pest during middle grade March. So my next one is Ramona the Brave. And then I'm probably going to keep going through my read through of the Babysitters Club books. Like I said, I'm on Jessie's Gold Medal. We'll see how many I get to. I don't really push it with those. I just read what I want to, and then I stop, and then I go back. So, there's that. So we have a good stock of middle grade here. Now let's do the Southern Charm Readathon. This is hosted by Book Lover Amanda, Tales and Treats with Tay, Tammy from the Protagonist Pub, Lauren at Intuitive Reading, and Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles. And there's another one, Lindsay Limos, I think. She has an Instagram. So, let's get to the prompts. Number 1, we have Bless Your Heart, a book that tugs at your heartstrings. And I decided to bring The Best Life Book Club by Sheila Roberts. I had this one on my April TBR and I never got to it. This one I heard about from Chloe. It's about Carissa Nussbaum. She moves away from Seattle, where her husband cheated on her with her best friend. She moves to this, to Gig Harbor in Puget Sound with her daughter, and she has a job as an assistant at a publishing company, and she forms a book club with a bunch of people, and yeah, sounds fun. What's more heartwarming than a book club? And I guess these book club is made up of other women who have issues. I think one of them's a widow. Sounds fun. Number 2, Well, I Declare, a mystery thriller or book with twists. I have Stolen Baby by L.G. Davis. I heard about, this is another Chloe book. I told everyone she's my baby. I lied. My life changed forever when my little girl appears in a basket on my doorstep, her long lashes fluttering, only a few hours old. She's so tiny and precious. My heart is hers in an instant. My husband Tom and I have always longed for a child, so we agree not to tell the authorities. We won't risk them taking her away, and I know if they find out my history, they'll never let me keep her. I'm so grateful to have my beautiful baby, who we call Daisy. But while Tom refuses to talk about it, I can't stop wondering who her biological parents are and why they left her with us. Then someone sends me a message enclosing it in a funeral program I find it on my kitchen table. Now I know the terrible truth about what happened to Daisy's parents, and it's closer to the home than I could have ever imagined. I thought I could protect us all despite my past mistakes, but when the secrets I uncover put my family's lives at risk, how far will I go to keep the little girl I love? So there's that. Then we have Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I first heard about this one from Jen from The Bookish Blonde. It is June 21st, the longest day of the year, and the life of new mother Camilla is about to change forever. After months of maternity leave, she will drop off her infant daughter at daycare for the first time and return to her job as a literary agent. Finally. But when she wakes, her husband, Luke, isn't there, and in his place is a cryptic note. Then it starts. Breaking news. A hostage situation is developing in London. The police tell her Luke is involved, but he isn't a hostage. Her husband, doting father, eternal optimist, is the gunman. The phone's ringing.
Speech on. Stop recording. 12 minutes. T. Stop recording video. Pause video. Oh.
Okay. Stop ringing. So yeah, I have those two for book with twists. Sounds fun.
15 p.m. in 5 seconds.
Next prompt is, Well, Look Who It Is, a book with more than one POV. And I have a World War II. I always have to have a...
One face near right edge.
Oops.
Center.
Turn the voice off.
Speech off.
Okay, I have The Book of Lost Children by Jenny O'Brien. Another Chloe book. A wartime nurse risks everything to protect mothers and babies in Nazi-occupied Guernsey. Decades later, a hidden record reveals a devastating family truth, based on a remarkable true story of one woman's extraordinary courage. Guernsey, 1943. As German forces tighten their grip on the Channel Islands, Nurse Evelyn Nightingale guards a dangerous secret. Within the walls of the emergency hospital, she has hidden 3 babies from the enemy, children who would otherwise face a terrible fate. When a traumatized French woman arrives to give birth, Evelyn must risk everything, with consequences that will echo through the generations. Dublin, 2018. Still reeling from her mother's death, Kitty White is struggling to keep her family's antique shop afloat when a desperate woman arrives with an old violin to sell. Oh, huh. They're playing music in this one too. Hidden in its dusty case, Kitty discovers a mysterious list of names that shatters her father's composure. Her search for answers leads her to Guernsey, where she is about to uncover a long-buried secret about her family. So yeah, 2 point of views. Number 4, Home is Where the Heart Is, a book set in a small town or that has strong family ties. I have The Lending Library by Eliza Fogelson. This one's a Krista book. When the Chatsworth Library closes indefinitely, Dottie Fairisle loses her sanctuary. How is a small-town art teacher supposed to cope without the never-ending life advice and enjoyment that books give her? Well, when she's as resourceful and generous as Dottie, she turns her sunroom into her very own little lending library. At first just a hobby, this lit lover's haven opens up her world in incredible ways. She knows books are powerful, and soon enough they help her forge friendships between her zany neighbors and attract an exciting new romance. But when the chance to adopt an orphan child brings Dottie's secret dream of motherhood within reach, everything else suddenly seems less important. Finding herself at a crossroads, Dottie must figure out what it means to live a full, happy life. If only there were a book that could tell her what to do. Sounds fun. And what's more family than an adoption? Then we have a free space, so I am probably going to put Every Hour Until Then by Gabrielle Meyer. I mean, I always read that as soon as it comes out, like her books, so that's going there. Number 6, Hold Your Horses, a slow burn romance or a book that takes time to unfold. I have 2 options for this. I have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I've been hearing about this one everywhere. Chloe, I think, Ravenclaw Reads talked about it too. I think she read it already. Grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman's life is turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again. So, yeah, I'm going to stop here. My voice is going. But if it's anything like Ready or Not, it is a slow burn romance. Then we have a time travel one. It's called Overseas by Beatrice Williams. I heard about this one from Alma's Book Journey. A passionate, sweeping novel of a love that transcends time. When 20-something Wall Street analyst Kate Wilson attracts the notice of the legendary Julian Lawrence at a business meeting, no one's more surprised than she is. Julian's relentless energy and his extraordinary intellect electrify her, but she's baffled by his sudden interest. Why would this handsome British billionaire, Manhattan's most eligible bachelor, pursue a pretty but bookish young banker who hasn't had a boyfriend since college? The answer is beyond imagining, at least at first. Kate and Julian's story may have begun in the muddied world of 21st century Manhattan, but in France... But in France during World War I, when a mysterious American woman emerges from the shadows of the Western Front to save the life of Captain Julian Lawrence Ashford, a celebratory war poet and infantry officer. Yeah, it's a time travel thing. Number 7, Country Roads Take Me Home. A song. I would pretend to sing it, but I don't sound good right now. A book in a series or a reread. I could put in a lot of things for that. I mean, I'm rereading lots of things this month, so anything could count for that. The Nightingale, Outlander, the Ramona books. But I'm also wanting to finish the Kate Burkholder book, so that's a series. And I also I'm sort of making time travel a theme this month. Just because, I don't know. We have Gabrielle Meyer's book coming out and stuff. And, I don't know. I'm feeling time travel-y. So, we also have The Christmas Eve Letter by Elise Douglas. I heard about this one. I found it by accident on Audible. And then Wandering with Stacy read it and liked it. So, 30-year-old Eve Charland is browsing a Pennsylvania antique store when she discovers an old brass lantern tucked away on a shelf. She picks it up and sees something behind one of the sooty glass panes. To her surprise, she finds an unopened letter stuck inside. The letter is postmarked December 24th, 1885, and it is addressed to Evelyn Charland in New York City. Eve gasps and drops the letter. That's her name. The letter is addressed to someone with her name in 1885, Evelyn Charland. Eve purchases the lantern and the letter and returns to her New York City apartment. Later that evening, she opens the letter and reads it, astounded by its contents. She stares at the lantern in wonder and alarm, deeply moved by the story of a tragic romance. A few days later, following a request in the letter, Eve cautiously lights the lantern. To her utter shock, she finds herself in the past, in 1885 New York City. Eve is thrown into a life far beyond what she could have ever imagined, as she gets involved with one of the richest families in New York City, and meets the handsome Patrick Gantley. She must struggle to survive and return to her own time. even if her destiny is changed forever. This is a whole series, so I'm interested. Then we have Y'all Come Back Now, a book set in the South, a rural area. I'm not sure what I want to read for that, honestly. So I'd love ideas. So far I have Laurel's Dream by Pepper Basham, but I don't know if I want to read another series. So, yeah. So, then number 9, Happier Than a Pig in Mud, a book that brings you joy or makes you laugh. And I decided to do the next Finley Donovan book. I mean, they're absurd mysteries and just the dumb situations those two get into, Finley and Veronica. I mean, it's hilarious. They're so funny. And I can't really think of anything else. I don't really read funny books on purpose. Like, I don't go out of my way looking for humor. So yeah, I might read that. We'll see. So yeah, that is what I have for my May TBR. We'll see what all I get to. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.
Speech on. Low power. Close. Low power mode. Stop recording video.